what's up, my friend? Are you a small family business owner that loves God, family, country, and capitalism? If so, you are totally in the right place. Welcome to the War Plan Briefing. My name is Joshua Latimer, and you are in the right place. Are you nervous? Are you freaking out a little bit? I hope you're not, but some of you are. Depending on where you are in the country, things are getting weird. If you look at our government, we won't even have a discussion about the corruption and debauchery and lack of ethics in government, but the economy is weird. In certain markets, things are tightening, things are weird. I want you to get ahead of it. Today, we're going to talk about 4 businesses that actually crush it during a recession. You know, there's always winners, even when lots of people are losers. There's people that find veins of gold at all time periods. If you look at the story of P.T. Barnum in the 1800s, he was the second millionaire in the United States. And based on my research, he was the first legitimate millionaire that didn't, commit crimes. I believe it was the Vanderbilt family or something made all their money from opium in the 1800s. That's just a fun Google rabbit hole for you to do later. But my point is he launched all of his companies during some of the worst, most painful economic times in American history, and he still found a way to make millions. And this is in the 1800s, okay? That's not the same. That's like making tens of millions now. And there's a lot of startups that have succeeded or been started originally during recessions. In fact, my first home service company, I started in like 2007-ish. Right before everything, fell apart during the Great Recession. Some of the other examples I made a note of briefly was General Motors, which was founded in 1908. And there was a squeeze at that time. Microsoft in 1975. Things were really weird at that time. Uber in 2009, and then Airbnb in 2008. There's opportunity everywhere, but you have to choose to look at the glass as being half full instead of half empty. It's the way that you frame this situation in your brain, and if you approach it with confidence and clever asymmetrical thinking, or if you just panic and use it as an excuse to not try harder. So here's the first type of business that can crush it during a recession. It's bargain and discount solutions, not just stores, not just your Dollar Trees and your Dollar Generals, although those popped up everywhere during the Great Recession about 10 years ago. I mean, everywhere. I don't know in your town, but these things are like all over the place. But did you know that no matter what kind of service you have, you could reposition whatever it is that you're selling now to make it feel more like an economized essential instead of a luxury, decadent purchase, right? So a lot of this has to do with framing, but people generally, mentally, are looking for bargains or discounts or deals during times like this. Now, if you're marketing or selling your stuff mainly to affluent people or very, very wealthy people, you probably don't have to do that. What I also think is really interesting right now is that Bernard Arnault, I think that's how you say it, Bernard Arnault, we can put a picture of him right here. He's the richest man in the world at the moment, and he's the chairman of, I think it's Louis Vuitton and Tiffany's and all these luxury brands. And they're crushing right now. And I know a lot of people are suffering, and that might anger you. But why is it that this guy is the richest guy ever? These luxury brands selling $5,000 handbags. Well, the reason why he's succeeding is because demographic of people he's selling to, they don't move up and down and come in and out based on gas prices going up $2 a gallon, right? But for you, if you're a local business owner, how can you reframe or reposition what it is you're already doing, change some of the language, change the names of your packages from sounding like luxury stuff to economized bargain essentials in your marketing and in the way that you communicate what you have to offer? If you make some tweaks, it will go very well for you. The second type of business that crushes during a recession is a repair or a maintenance business. So if you're a home service company, do you offer maintenance plans? Do you try to sell reoccurring revenue into your business? Maybe you haven't cracked the code and figured that out, but people are doing it. I know a guy who's a window cleaner who does 6 figures a month on the first of every month because he has people in a subscription program, right? So it's, again, all about framing and looking for opportunity, but repair and maintenance businesses do really well because people want to take care of and protect what it is that they already have. People, generally speaking, are more motivated by avoiding loss than they are by pursuing pleasure. And what that means for you is that if people have a home and you service their home, the way that you talk about it should be using language that alludes to the fact that they're going to avoid loss, they're going to protect themselves, things like that. So whether it's repairing old things, I think auto repair is a good example of this. People will buy less new cars, and that means there'll be more older cars. But again, there's opportunity where some people say, the world is falling apart, the sky is falling. If you're in the auto repair business, prepare to buckle up and get rich, because people are going to not buy the $115,000 SUV. They're going to fix their $40,000 SUV that they would have upgraded, or maybe they will in 3 years, but they're not going to right now. Lots of opportunity there. So for maintenance contracts, anything that helps people avoid loss or feels like some sort of insurance policy, or anything that feels like an economized essential or the prudent, responsible way to get on our monthly contract. That way this bad thing doesn't happen to you. It's not so much about decadence and luxury when you're selling to middle class and upper middle class people right now during these types of times. You can reframe it. The third type of business that does well during a recession is education and training businesses. People go back to school. They invest in their brain, which at least smart people invest in their brain, right? That's the number one asset that no one can take from you. Imagine Elon Musk losing everything. Do you think he'd be okay? Do you think he would apply for a job at your company, or do you think he'd be okay? Even if you took his network away, his contacts away, all of his capital away, and deleted his fame so no one knew who he was, you think he'd get rich again? I mean, the answer should be obvious. It's because the skill sets and mindsets and the things that are stacked inside his brain, that is the asset. And the same is true for you. You're basically getting exactly the results that you're supposed to, believe it or not, based on what you did or did not do in the past and what you did or did not learn in the past. Your results in your bank account is a lagging indicator of decisions that you made or avoided in the past. Your bank account catches up to who you are. So anyway, back to education and training services. Maybe you need to invest in your brain, but maybe you could create an offer during your down season. Maybe you know something other people in your industry need to know. Maybe you could monetize your expertise, because when things tighten up and shrink, people are going to be scrambling and looking for the little vein of gold. Maybe you are the person that figures out how to sell those reoccurring maintenance contracts for service companies, or you have some restaurant and you figured out this way to move the needle in your profit. Do that. But also consider, if you want to, for an additional stream of income that will crush it during a recession, figure out how to package up that knowledge and deliver it to people to help them go faster. It's actually easier to sell that stuff when times are hard than it is when times are fat, because people mistakenly think they're awesome when times are good. And when the squeeze comes, they realize, I'm not as smart as I thought I was. I got to learn stuff, right? And every single person watching this video right now has something valuable that you could sell to help someone else go faster, someone that's behind wherever you are. Okay, and the fourth type of business that crushes it during a recession are entertainment businesses. Now, if you have a local business, you probably can't find a way to bend your service into entertainment, but it's still a good principle for you to understand. People want to escape. Escapism is a valuable commodity, right? And Netflix is a form of escapism. Pornography is a form of escapism. The sin stocks, the stocks that go up in value when everybody's suffering, like tobacco and liquor and things like that, these are all forms of escapism. So the reason I put that on this list, yes, businesses that are in the entertainment business can do really well during a recession, but I wanted to put this in here to encourage you to avoid the escapism, avoid the temptation, which is real, to put your head in the sand, to feel sorry for yourself, and to escape, and escape in whatever way that you do, because it's not a good idea. You could spend this weekend, go through this video, watch it again slow, come up with a plan. How can you reframe your offers to sound like economized essentials, bargains and discounts? How can you offer repair solutions, or reframe your offers through your messaging to sound like something that's helping them avoid loss rather than get a brand new, shiny, awesome thing, help them avoid loss? How can you do that? And then how could you monetize your own expertise, or at least begin the thought process on what that would look like? And then here's a couple ideas for repositioning, okay? If you take whatever it is you sell and you try to frame it as a health or safety solution, it'll help you a little bit more during a scary economic time. So maybe what you sell is carpet cleaning, right? And so for years, you're like, hey, here's my carpet cleaning offer. It's this much per room, whatever. Well, maybe we reframe it a little bit to say, look, if there's one thing more important than anything, it's your health, or your safety of your pets, or the safety of your kids. Did you know there's microbes growing in your such and such? With our clean bill of health carpet cleaning package, you get such and such and such. And these things will start to work better, and because it helps people logically justify hiring you even when they're nervous about the economy. That's just one example. Long-term savings is another example, or the value of their home, how you doing what you do basically protects their largest investment. It protects them. It's like an insurance policy against something bad happening. And then also letting your customers know how responsible and thrifty they are and how smart they are for still investing in whatever service that you do. So I hope this is helpful for you. Look, if you haven't subscribed yet or shared this, it would mean a lot to me if you did. Hit the bell, comment. I'd love to hear your story, where you're from, and what your biggest takeaway was. What did I miss? I am open to advice and constructive criticism. We are the best kept secret on YouTube. I believe that. And until next time, see you in the next video.